game over, he's dead.
Right.
And then the next one just shoots everyone.
But then that's not a mass
and then they
shooting,
count them.
right? Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. It gets complicated. We'll see. They're going to get press out of it, that's for sure. And I think that's one of the things they wanted to do, of course, when you're trying to promote.
Yeah, they have gotten a lot of press, not a lot of positive press necessarily. But what did you expect, right? I mean, most things related to freedom don't get much positive press.
Right.
Which is sad.
I got into a discussion today on Facebook where somebody...
Oh, did you?
Yeah. That's a good surprise, you didn't it? That's a surprise. On mandatory military service for all 18, 2 years.
No.
And I
no is my answer.
That's slavery. And this former military guy went on and on saying it's not slavery because, in the military, they teach you a trade and they take care of you with medicine and, they pay you and they feed and clothe you. And I said, well, the slaves, they got medical treatment because they were valuable and worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
They were fed and clothed. They learned trades.
Yeah.
The thing is they couldn't leave for a specified period of time, like never.
Yeah.
Although some were freed.
Yeah, yeah.
And he goes, no. No, they beat the slaves. And I said, some were mistreated. There's no question. Some were beaten, but some were taken, fairly good care of.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm sure no NCO ever hit or struck any recruit in the military. That's never happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think he had an argument. His was, it's an extreme, but it got my point across. He didn't see it, but
it's not that people that volunteer to go into the military is the problem, right? It's the idea. It's been going around for a few days now too. That everybody should be forced,
right?
Like Israel, because look how good it works in Israel, and it might. That's fine.
It doesn't, because I've read things about that, and it's a joke. The 2-year military service is it's terrible. These guys have never really fought any wars, and they don't get the training they get, and they're in there and they're joking around and blah, blah, blah. It's not that great.
Yeah, I guess that's another point. It might lead to a less serious military, right? Because people are doing it because they have to.
Right. Why should I give it crap?
Like, for instance, I don't know, take your average high schooler who's forced to be at school every single day.
How is that going to be different in the military?
Right. That's my point.
Because
you're talking 18. They're really not much older, right? I mean, some of them are seniors in high school.
Now, I think what you should do, though, is you should start beating them.
In high school?
In the military, like they do slaves to get them to do the work.
You think so?
Well, yeah.
I think they're doing all right.
What? Now it's voluntary. I'm talking about if it were mandatory.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, you'd have to. You'd have to do something.
You'd have to beat them.
You'd have to do something, right?
I mean, why would they do anything? They'd go in there because, threat of prison, I suppose, and that's what they did.
Sure.
When there was the draft. You better do your job, but they're not going to do their job well. They're not going to care. It's not like they're going to try to get promoted and make a career out of it. I mean, some
of them would,
but those are the ones that would probably volunteer.
Potentially, yeah.
So,
right. No, it's ridiculous. You can't force people to do things like that.
Not in a free country.
No, right?
Exactly. And there's a word for that. And it's called slavery.
Yeah. Well,
as temporary as it is, it's
slavery. Especially at a time when we don't need to have a mandatory draft, right? We don't need it.
Well, his argument was that the kids today are too soft and too undisciplined.
I agree.
And you know what?
I agree.
Every older generation has said about the younger generations for hundreds of years.
Look, I don't know.
Well, they have.
I think it's true, though.
Well, yeah, I think they're all a bunch of, wimpy sissy boys.
Yeah.
But
any of them under 50, anyway.
That's right. Wait, you're under 50.
Barely.
That was
thanks, Obama.
That was Obama between his pauses and his speeches. We cut those out for you later.
Yeah,
we have a soundbite. So, anyways, we're gonna ban guns. Sound like Baltimore or something, slithering.
Yeah,
I'll have your liver with an ice Chianti.
It reminded me of, for some reason, the cockroach guy from Men in Black.
Yeah.
I mean, probably for cockroaches, that makes sense, but just the alien...
That's the president of the United States.
Yeah, and he just won't go away.
As a cockroach. He will. His days are numbered. When is it, January?
What?
There's a year.
Next year.
Oh, my God.
2017. Yeah, that's a long time.
That's terrible.
That's a long time. All right, what do you want to talk about? You want to take a break?
Is it time for a break?
Sure.
Is it early? Should I do our trivia question? Of course.
Do the trivia question. When we get back, I want to talk about drones.
Excuse me. This is kind of a tricky one, so I'm going to give you a clue. I'm going to give you
the answer
the modifier.
When we come back.
No. Which president was the first president as a president to travel outside the U.S.? In other words, this person could have traveled as a non-president before he became president. But as a president, this was the first one to leave the United States.
All right. I have no idea.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
My Parents Open Carry, the new international children's book sensation. Bill Maher had this to say.
My Parents Open Carry.
Thanks, Bill. What a great recommendation. Hey, Bill, what makes Brenna's parents different?
Mom and Dad are both safe because they're packing.
And Stephen Colbert, what's the book about?
And it tells the heartwarming story of Brenna.
Nice summary. And Stephen agrees with Bill on what makes Brenna's parents different.
Unlike other parents, Brenna's mom and dad carry loaded weapons openly, which might make her feel different. But her father reassures her that, Brenna, there is evil in this world, and we want to protect you the best we can. When seconds count, the police are minutes away. What a beautiful bedtime story.
And be sure to check out the #1 best-selling children's book in government category at Amazon.com or at myparentsopencarry.com.
At odds.
Hey, Mom, tired of getting paid peanuts working for someone else? Tired of that job interfering with trying to be a good mom? How'd you like to be in total control of your time and make as much money as you want to? Go to Income51.com for free information on hundreds of work-from-home business opportunities from the Mom's Business Network.
I'm a single mom, and when I found this opportunity, I was able to make $1,200 part-time my first month, fire my boss, and now work from home full-time around my kids.
What mom wouldn't want to fire their boss, still make great money, and have the freedom to live the life she wants?
I was working as a corporate executive. I never had time with my family. Then I got downsized. I decided I was never going to work for anyone again. What I like about this is I get to be my own boss, work at home around my family, and provide a great lifestyle.
Go to Income51.com for free information today. That's Income51.com. Start earning great money as soon as next week. That's Income51.com. Income51.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 877-595-5381. That's 877-595-5381. Again, 877-595-5381. Call now.
From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys.
listen to the Ad Odd Show with Nate and Brian, and then come on down in my basement and have a popsicle.
Ooh, do not go down in the basement with that person. That's Nixon again, urinating.
Mike's still on.
He still hasn't stopped.
Richard.
Decky.
This is the Ad Out Show. I'm Nate. That's Brian over there. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Ad Out Show, adoutshow.com. Check out our book, myparentsopencarry.com. Before the break, Brian, you asked us a very important question.
I did. It was
which?
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Which president was the first president, as a president, to travel outside the U.S.?
George Washington.
Nope. And I will tell you even where he traveled. That'll be a hint.
Was it Benjamin Franklin?
It was not Benjamin Franklin. This president traveled to Panama.
Oh, to Panama.
Oh. Now that helps, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Richard Nixon.
No.
Oh.
No. Really?
John Quincy Adams?
To Panama. Which president was responsible for the Panama Bridge?
Was it before it was Panama? Because
no, it was Panama, but it was before there was a canal there, not a bridge. Jesus.
Obama probably claimed to build the Panama Bridge. You realize that's the opposite, right?
Yeah. Of a canal?
Yeah.
There's a topography difference. That's a throwback.
Slight.
Yeah. No, it was Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, I knew that.
First president. I think they would have traveled before then, but I guess they were too busy doing things in the country.
Yeah, the planes usually didn't make it too far.
Washington's plane hardly ever flew at all.
Yeah, it was weird.
His helicopter he got around in, but not his plane.
You know they had jetpacks back then, right? But someone
they
destroyed them?
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
It's got to be government.
Somebody spelled preempted wrong. That would have been you.
You don't know what I was trying to say.
I know what you were trying to say.
All right, look.
Speaking
we can
of
do
preempted,
this as quickly as you want, or we can take as much time as you want.
You can take as much. This is your baby. This is your
I'm really
town.
Not too happy about it. It's not my town. What are you talking about, Brian?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not your town. No. It's not your town.
Okay, look. Drones, right?
I'm looking,
and I'm making hand gestures, and you're supposed to interpret.
Remember, I was there.
I know you were there. Never mind. We don't need to talk about it. You were there.
I was there. Pretend like I wasn't there, and tell me what happened.
Yeah. So,
who was the best speaker there?
Me.
No, it was me.
I thought it. No, it was the city attorney.
Oh yeah,
he was the best
great.
speaker.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
so the city drafts this
draconian
drone.
That's our
drone.
drone.
That's why I messed it up. Drone ordinance, right? Which essentially bans drones. I mean, that's what it does. They claim it doesn't.
Well, anyway,
the original wording had or the wording that they tried to pass anyway had a clause in there that said you cannot photograph people or private property without their consent.
Right.
While flying a drone, which they absolutely cannot do that, right? Because you can take a handheld camera and take a picture of anybody you want.
Right. When they're in public.
Yeah.
There's no expectation of privacy.
Right.
Been held up all courts.
And in public includes your backyard.
Right.
Right? It does not necessarily include your bathroom, depending on the situation, right?
Well, if you have glass walls.
If someone's using a telephoto lens and they're spying on you.
Right.
There's a line there somewhere.
And there's already ordinances about that, I think. You can.
There's got to be.
Right.
So this was going in as a nuisance, which whatever that means. Mm-hmm. They're trying to claim that since it's in the nuisance section, that it requires a complaint.
It's not like we're going to be out looking for people flying drones. That's not what we're going to do.
I think it's ridiculous that they're saying it requires a complaint because it doesn't.
No.
You telling me if a police officer is driving and seeing you violating this audience, they're going to wait until somebody or this ordinance, they're going to wait until somebody calls? That's ridiculous.
That's what the chief told me after the meeting.
I know. That's what I know. I'm
not looking for more work, he says.
And I do believe that.
Yeah.
Right? But that doesn't mean he's not going to enforce the ordinances that are on the books. And this one is now. So they passed it. The city council passed it. They took out the ban on photography,
right.
which makes it slightly better, but still, it's still horrible, right? And it's still ridiculous, still unnecessary. So
So basically, it bans flying a drone within 25 feet of a power line, within 25 feet, 100 feet of